What are the most profitable solo monsters in Old School RuneScape? Monsters that you can go to alone at any time and make absolute bank. If you're broke, you won't be for long after this video. And just to let you know, I'm going to be tossing an item every single day to one of you on my Snapchat at BoomEpicKill. Let's jump into some of the highest risk but highest reward bosses you could solo today with no quests or Slayer levels needed. The ChaosFanatic is found right next to KBD's lair and is known to drop the Odium Shard 1, worth 2.8 million GP. This boss is a chill fight, and if you bring a looting bag and use the nearby Chaos Altar, you'll get free prayer regenerations that will really extend your trips. The fastest way to get here is by teleporting to the lava maze with a burning amulet and running a bit east. Or you can use a Gorok teleport tab and run a bit south if you have desert treasure done. You want to bring good range gear without risking too much, as you are in the wilderness. And you can expect to be making around 1.2 million GP per hour with a chance of the Chaos Elemental pet on top. This boss overall is a 1 out of 5 difficulty, and almost anybody can do it right away. Calvarion, one of the 3 weaker counterparts to the iconic wilderness bosses, Vedion, Callisto, and Vedenatus. All of these bosses drop one of 3 pieces of the notorious Voidwaker, the most overpowered spec weapon in the game. You will need to complete the Wilderness Medium Diary to get access to these 3 demi-boss fights. Calvarion is a melee-based fight, with its max value drop being the Voidwaker Blade, worth 5.4 million GP. He's an undead creature, so wearing a Salve Amulet is a really cheap option for some insane damage output. This boss is located in the Graveyard of Shadows, a bit northeast of the Ferox Enclave. This makes it easy to bank and to escape from PKers. Once you learn this boss and have the mechanics down, you can avoid most damage from it and walk away with over 2.5 million GP per hour. Ario. Similar to Calvarion, Ario is located near the Ferox Enclave for easy resets and safer banking. Some notable drops from Ario are the Dragon Pickaxe and the Tyrannical Ring, but the main reason why you're here is its Voidwaker piece as well, worth a juicy 10.6 million GP. This boss deals incredible damage even through melee prayer, so using ranged or magic combat to keep your distance is advised. Now, I suggest you should mage this boss, because the Accursed Scepter is the cheapest out of all the wilderness weapons, and with Ancient Ice Sacks, you can also freeze the boss with Ice Barrage so you never get hit with its melee attacks. You'll be able to net a nice 2.6 million GP per hour completely solo. Spindell. To finish off this list of risky moneymakers with a bang, we have the Money Spider, Spindell. It's the most profitable solo wilderness boss with a max drop of a mind-blowing 53.6 million GP. With that being said, this is the reason there's as many PKers out there looking to get you as this spider has legs on its body. So make sure you don't bring anything you don't want to risk here. The quickest way to get to Spindell is to teleport to the Corporal Beast Cave with a Games Necklace, and then running northwest to the Web Chasm it resides in. This boss is most efficiently killed in a melee setup with a good crush weapon. Some examples are a Dragon Mace, the Sirachnus Cudgel, a Zombie Axe, or an Ursine Chain Mace. Also, bringing a Stamina Potion can be nice, because if she catches you in a web, your stamina points will drain quickly. If you can stay alive at this money-making beast, you'll be making around 5.7 million GP per hour at this 2 out of 5 difficulty boss. Now let's talk about some more minigame style bosses. These minigame style bosses offer some fun, repeatable fights, and some very good profits. Baros, a classic piece of content that will always pay out. Located in the middle of the Mortania Swamp, is a graveyard where 6 brothers have been buried. Kill all 6 of them and get a chance at some of their armor pieces and weapons. This is a low-risk moneymaker that you only need 43 prayer for protection prayers and a very humble 50 magic to do fairly efficiently. The Baros brothers are weak to air spells, so bring out your best staff and air spells and go to town on them. With some notable drops here being the Karils and Aram's armor pieces being worth around 1 to 2 million GP. But the biggest reward at the moment is the Darok's Axe being worth 3.8 million. You can get here fast by using the Baros teleport tabs that you can buy on the GE. Now, assuming you kill all of the brothers and some small monsters in the crypt as you're running to the chest, you have a 1 out of 16 chance to get a unique item, which will allow you to make around 1 to 1.5 million GP per hour at this 1 out of 5 difficulty boss. Now, if you're done digging and running around crypts at Baros and you're up for a bit more of a challenge, Moon's Apparel is perfect for you. This is unlocked after completing the Moon's Apparel quest, and this trio of melee fights is a bit more spicy than Baros. Something to know right away is protection prayers do not work against these 3, so you need to be looking to maximize your melee defense. The quickest way to get here is by crushing a calcified moth. This will teleport you right to the center of Camp Turum. from where you run north into the Nepatli, where the moons are located. Another option is to use the Quetzal transport system, with which you can fly to the Theomat and run down the mountain to the Cam Tarum entrance. Or if you have built the Quetzal nest, you can teleport immediately to Cam Tarum. In this cave, you can hunt or fish for food, and you can make potions for regenerating your prayer and combat stats for free. This makes it a very low cost boss because you'll be saving a lot of cash on supplies. The drops here are very stable in price, since they're being used in a lot of mid-level bossing and are degradable like the Baros items. All of the drops are worth millions, and with 2 of the biggest drops being worth nearly 10. If all 3 moons are defeated, your hourly profit will be around 2.5 million GP. The Gauntlet. Now, if the moons aren't perilous enough for you, then the Gauntlet might be what you're looking for. Locked behind the Grandmaster Quest Song of the Elves, this is the top tier of minigame bossing. Located in northwest of Prifidus, the Gauntlet will test your abilities to the fullest. You jump in with no gear, no food, and no potions. You have to gather supplies, armor, and weapons while being on a timer, which you use to kill the final boss, Hunlif. Once you've done a couple regular gauntlets, you can go a step further and try the Corrupted Gauntlet, where your timer to collect supplies will be decreased, and everything will have more HP and higher max hits. In return, you get an extra loot roll per kill and more than double the odds of getting a unique drop. The regular gauntlet will net you around 2.1 million GP per hour, while the Corrupted Gauntlet goes up to 4.5 million GP per hour. Some drops range from Crystal Armor Seeds worth 5.6 mil to the staggering 120 mil Enhanced Crystal Weapon Seed. The Gauntlet is rated a 4 out of 5 difficulty, and the Corrupted Gauntlet is a 5 out of 5, so be prepared. Did you know that there's a few Discord servers that are dedicated on giving GP out? One way players make a lot of GP without necessarily playing in game is by entering giveaways that usually occur on YouTube videos, streams, social media posts, or Discord servers. Here's an example of a giveaway-based Discord server that gives hundreds of millions of GP, if not billions of GP away weekly. Everything they do is completely free to enter, and they also track any Twitch streamers that have giveaway in their title and have a notifier for anyone who's interested in that type of content. I'll leave a link in the description for those of you guys who want to join and have a passive way to make some GP. Now, what about some bosses that are more Slayer and quest locked? There's a wide range of bosses that require some late game quests or Slayer levels, but offer some of the best GP per hour in all of Gielinor, like the Grotest Guardians. Located in the Slayer Tower of Mortania, you will need to have 75 Slayer to get in here, and get a brittle key drop from Gargoyles. This key permanently opens up the gate to the roof in the Slayer Tower, where a chill fight and drops worth up to 8.4 million GP are waiting for you. These Guardians are a duo. You'll need to use melee and ranged combat for this fight, so it's a good boss to practice your gear switches. Other than a nice 1.5 million GP per hour, the Grotest Guardians also drop an untradeable granite dust, which you can use to upgrade your cannonballs to granite for some extra max hits. The Grotest Guardians are a 2 out of 5 difficulty and something everybody should try out. Now, talking about iconic duos, the Royal Titans have more than earned their spot on this list. Down in the Asgarnian Ice Dungeon, Eldrick the Ice King and Branda the Fire Queen form the Royal Titans. This moneymaker's key part is the Twin Flame Staff, which is assembled from 2 parts dropped from each of the bosses. The completed staff is worth a very nice 8.4 million GP. For this boss, you will need to use melee and ranged combat gear. This will be another great opportunity for you to practice gear switches. A cool part about the Royal Titans is they aren't locked behind any Slayer levels, but you can profit from the Slayer Helm damage bonus if you get yourself a Fire or Ice Giant task. The fastest way to get there would be the Giant Soul Amulet, but that has a 1 out of 16 drop rate from the boss itself. So to get those first kills out of the way quickly, you want to use the Fairy Ring code AIQ and run north to the ladder that enters the Ice Dungeon. The Royal Titans is a 2 out of 5 difficulty boss and can make you around 1.8 million GP per hour. Zorra, rated 3 out of 5 difficulty. People call this the Money Snake, an iconic boss that uses all combat styles. This boss is mostly fought in a magic and ranged setup, although you can use melee here. And once you row your boat into the swamp, a fast-paced fight with Zorra will start. Each kill is worth around 150 to 200k, and can easily take less than 2 minutes depending on your gear and skill. Zorra's hourly profit will be around 2.5 to 3 million GP per hour, depending on how lucky you get. Unique drops like the Serpentine Visage and Magic Fang are all worth over 4 million GP, with the Tanzanite Fang sitting at nearly 7 mil at the moment. Vorcath, Conveniently named the Money Dragon, fighting this dragon makes you up to 5 million GP per hour, with most of the value coming not from the unique drops, but from common drops like his bones and hides. This means you don't have to get lucky to get rich. Vorcath is locked behind the completion of Dragon Slayer 2, which is a hefty requirement, but oh so worth it. You can fight Vorcath with melee or range gear, which doesn't even have to cost that much. The Salve Amulet will come into play here as well, because Vorcath is considered undead, and Void Armor is actually a really good, if not the best armor set for this fight, which is why Vorcath is so good. That means 2 key parts of your gear setup are basically free. To fight Vorcath, you need to travel from the Relica docks to Angel. A quick way of getting there is to bank on Lunar Island and talk to any NPC there to get kicked off the island, and conveniently spawn right next to the docks in Relica. Fighting Vorcath is about the consistent money, and the uniques are a lot more rare than, for example, at the Zorra fight. But with a max unique drop of 15 mil, getting lucky will feel very good. The Whisperer. The Whisperer is one of the Desert Treasure 2's 4 repeatable bosses. It's a tough mage-based fight, but really worth the grind. She can be found in the Undercity of Lazar, accessible through the sinkhole in the northwest of the ruins of Kamzazal, located under Ice Mountain. The fastest way to get here is by using a Lesar teleport tablet and running to the entrance of Kamzazal at the base of the mountain. Once in Kamzazal, you can run northwest where you can climb down the rope to get into the Undercity. After getting the Sirenic tablet as a 1 out of 26 drop and using it on your Ring of Shadows, you can instantly teleport to the boss so you don't have to run all the way anymore, making this that much more farmable. The Whisperer drops pretty good loot. Even a lot of the non-unique loot is worth a lot of GP, but the uniques you will be going for are pieces of the Vardorus robes and the Bellator vestige. The vestiges will be untradeable at first, but can be made into their corresponding rings and sold on the Grand Exchange. The Bellator ring is worth around 60 million GP right now, so if you nail that, you'll be looking at some pretty profit. With uniques and non-uniques combined, you're looking at around 9 million GP per hour here for a boss that is rated a 3 out of 5 difficulty. Vardorus. Located in Stranglewood, this is the most difficult but also the most profitable DT2 boss. The fastest way to get here is to take Ferry Ring BLS, then walk a bit west until you see the rowboat that takes you to the Stranglewood. After taking the boat, a little run further west will get you to Vardorus' lair. To fight him, you'll have to use melee gear, preferably your best slash weapon. Now, the same as with the Whisperer, you'll be looking for the Vardorus robe pieces here, but the vestige that this boss drops makes the real difference. Vardorus drops the Altar Vestige, which you can make into an Altar Ring, which sits at a mind-blowing 190 million GP right now. This will bring your hourly profit up to 10 million GP per hour. A very nice bonus if you're camping the DT2 bosses long term is that all 4 of them have a small chance of dropping their piece of the Soul Reaper axe. If you manage to get all 4 of these pieces and create the axe, you'll be a whopping 425 million GP richer. Now what if you're up for a real challenge? If you are really looking to learn some more difficult and profitable content, raids and especially Tombs of Amascut deserves mention. Because of its difficulty scaling system, it's by far the easiest raid to get into, with some of the juiciest items in game able to be obtained here. With level 300 Invocation expert runs, you're looking at 4.5 million GP per hour. But if you step up your game and get to level 500 solos, you'll be raking in a steady 15 million GP per hour. You'll be stacking up bank doing this raid. If you manage to get this raid's mega rare, the Tummykin Shadow, you will instantly be an Old School RuneScape billionaire. So whether you're chilling at Baros, risking it all at Spindell, or slaying through DT2 bosses for that last piece of the Soul Reaper axe, there's gold to be made at every level. And to help you on your bossing journey, I'm going to toss one of you a melee bossing kit. Just like the video, leave your RuneScape name in the comment section below so I know how to contact you, and be sure to subscribe. You're also going to want to watch this video right here to learn how to make as much money as possible while being AFK the entire time.